It's March 15th, 2022, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell, and today, my sister Holly turns 500 years old. Happy birthday to her. I think that says 500. Starts with a 5 and a Z. Either way, she is old. Today also marks the Ides of March. On this day, over 2,000 years ago, Roman dictator Julius Caesar was stabbed to death by a group of Roman senators. Perhaps some Russian politicians will draw inspiration from this? Just saying. CNN reports Russia asked China for military assistance to help Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. That assistance includes military rations, and that is a complicated way of ordering Chinese food. The Pentagon isn't concerned, however. With China's supply chain being so backed up, it'll be another 14 months before anything can get to Russia. The Ukraine government has released a new postage stamp honoring the heroes at Snake Island who bravely stood up to Russian warships. The U.S. also released a new postage stamp honoring the heroes who bravely put a Ukrainian flag on their Facebook profile picture. The White House is discussing whether President Biden should travel to Europe to meet with leaders about the war. European leaders are hoping the war will end so a Biden visit can be avoided. No, you don't have to come over here. We just want your money. You don't have to. Oh, look, here he comes. A report put out by the United Nations said that the Ukraine-Russia war will hit women and girls the hardest. Hold my beer, said Chris Brown. Former President Barack Obama says he's doing fine despite testing positive for COVID-19. Former President Donald Trump says he plans to get COVID-19 again just to take the attention away from his predecessor. A series of studies shows that as a result of the pandemic, young students have suffered an alarming decline in reading skills. The good news is that they'll never find out because they can't read the studies. Are you missing that extra hour of sleep? You're not alone. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard gives us a first-hand look at adapting to the grind of daylight saving time.
Technology has made the twice-a-year chore of updating your clocks so much easier. For example, on my phone, I don't have to do anything because it updates automatically. And in my car, I just press one button and I get the correct time. But not everything is that easy. Some of us still have analog clocks because we're fancy like that, which means we have to update them the old-fashioned way, by hand. I've already taken the liberty of doing that, so I know that my clocks are up to date. Because updating them is really just... This is weird. It says it's 22 o'clock. And there's only one hand on it, too. Oh. It's a thermometer. It's 22 degrees in here. No wonder it's so cold. I'll be right back. I gotta turn on the heater.
Tim, that's a metric thermometer. You're reading it in Celsius.
Really? Oh. I'm still going to turn on the heater anyway. It's my place. Jeez.
Fair enough. Tim, you also have some lint on your shirt there. He'll see it eventually. Despite gas prices almost doubling before the Ukraine war, President Joe Biden told Americans that we should blame the prices on Vladimir Putin, which is the political equivalent of gaining 200 pounds and blaming it on the lady at the office who brought in donuts. In response to the high gas prices, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg said that we should all just buy electric cars. And if you can't feed your family, he said that you should just buy a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. A courthouse in Maine plans to have a full-time therapy dog on hand to provide emotional support for people dealing with traumatic experiences, like being picked for jury duty. Tom Brady is back in the NFL. Come on! No! No! He announced his comeback just a few weeks after he announced his retirement. The economy must really be terrible if even Tom Brady can't afford to retire. And now, after that terrible, horrible, awful Tom Brady news, some much-needed good news to delight all of us. Sketchworks Comedy is returning to live performances with the all-female sketch comedy show Heels Up at the Village Theater in Atlanta for 3 nights, March 31st, April 1st, and April 2nd. Fans of Hawkeye and Cobra Kai will recognize a special guest host at Friday night's performance. It's me. It's me, I'm the one anyway. Get your Heels Up tickets today at sketchworkscomedy.com, and we will see you at the Village Theater. And hey, speaking of the Village Theater, Sketchworks Comedy hosts a summer camp for kids and teens afflicted with being funny. Here's Education Director Maria Liatis to tell us more.
Sketchworks Comedy summer camps are back and in person. During our 2-week camp, kids will play improv games, create funny characters, and write sketches for their own original comedy show. Not excited yet? Campers will also shoot a professionally produced video sketch and premiere it at their showcase. Also included, a show poster, camp t-shirts, awards, and a pizza party. Let's get back into comedy. Sketchworks, cranking out the funny.
Thank you, Maria. And remember, if we have ever offended you or crossed the line of good taste here on Sketchworks NewsBrake, the best way for you to register your complaint is to hit the thumbs up, like, follow, and subscribe buttons. We'll get the message. Saturday Night Live's Pete Davidson plans to take a trip to outer space. And then, when he's done smoking weed, he's scheduled to go into actual outer space as a guest on one of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rockets. Kind of iffy, that one. According to a recent music industry report, both CD and vinyl sales increased in 2021, while cassette sales are limited to just this guy. Speaking of music, country music legend Dolly Parton turned down her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination because, as she puts it, she doesn't feel she earned the right to be nominated. Turns out that's one of the most rock and roll things you can do. Dolly is being replaced on the contention ballot by Susan Boyle. So instead of hello Dolly, I guess it's hell no Dolly. That's really bad. Can we just move on to the next? Show the slide. A couple in London is suing their neighbor for installing a mannequin who stares at the couple through the bedroom window. Said the mannequin, "Don't feel so great getting stared at through the window, does it?" Staying in England, the Cotswold Wildlife Park in Burford has named a newborn rhino Queenie in honor of Queen Elizabeth II, because they say the Queen is getting fat, which I think is just cruel, you know? A Florida man called 911 because he bought methamphetamine and wanted the police to see if it was actually meth. The bad news, police arrested him. The good news, it was meth. More bad news, he won't get to use it. 6 years ago, a Minnesota mom challenged her 12-year-old son to avoid social media until he turned 18 in exchange for $1,800. Her son, now 18, did stay off social media and now has $1,800 and no friends. Hey, just like me. Except I don't have $1,800. That's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxell. Say hi to your mom for me. She's my only friend. And she stares at me through my bedroom window.
The First Lady's husband contracting COVID, but look at this room and what you see. Pardon?